All right, Erev Tov, Rabbi Isai. Question that was asked this past week with regards to kashering an air fryer. So this is an interesting question. It's an interesting question because it's talay in a machlokas. What's the machlokas? We pointed out a couple of days ago that there are two primary ways of kashering a kli. There is what's called libun and there's what's called hagala. Libun is where it's heated up to the point that all the chametz inside of it is destroyed. The definition that the Gemara, that the Talmud Bavli gives in Masechtas Avodah Zarah is sheyashir kliposa, that you are peeling off the outer layer of it. Now, everybody understands that you're not heating up metal to the point that metal is peeling off from metal. Pasha says, the Rishonim Achronim understand that that means that whatever layer of stuff is on it is going to just come off, right? That whatever is caked on top of it is finished. It's done. It's going to burn off. It's going to disintegrate. And you see that from time to time if you have like cast iron on your grill, so there's like schmutz on it that like is stuck. And then if you get it hot enough, you'll see that stuff just comes off. That is yashir klipa sod, that you are removing the klipa of it. The definition that the Yerushalmi gives in Avodah Zarah is that it gets hot enough that sparks come off of it. Again, how hot does it have to be that sparks come off of it? And if something were to get close to it, it would just incinerate and ignite. That's what's called libun. Hagala is kashers through hot water. That's boiling water that, like we discussed, the pasta pot that took in flavor from boiling water, so it's going to get rid of the flavor through boiling water. The interesting question arises with regards to something that clearly absorbed flavor in a way that was not through a liquid medium. It was through direct heat, primarily. I mean, if it's not primarily, then there's another debate to discuss, but it's something that absorbed flavor through direct heat. But that direct heat was not at that exceptionally high temperature. Meaning, you have, for example, your regular oven. Your regular oven can get very hot, can get 600 degrees or so. I mean, I think they go up to 550, but it can get very hot, right? Most of the time, you don't cook at that heat, right? If you cook at that heat, you're in trouble. The things aren't going to survive cooking at that heat. So, do you need to kasher your food at the temperature of libun, or do you need to kasher it at the temperature that your food was cooked at? You hear the question, right? Where is the definition of libun? Is libun a official definition of that's when you know that libun has occurred, or if you know with certainty that libun, that your food was never cooked at more than 400 degrees. So you've never ever put your oven at more than 400 degrees. You've never done it. You've never done that thing. So you know that the food has never ever gotten to the temperature beyond that. So does libun now mean you're going to kasher kabul oy kashpolta the same way that the flavor went in, the flavor went out? That's the machlokas. This machlokas is a machlokas that you see written in Shulchan Aruch and in the Nosei Kelim and in the poskim. The vast majority of poskim hold that me'ikar adin we should hold that libun, the highest form of libun chomer. We should assume you require the highest temperature for, which is like 900 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever it is. It's hot, right? Like self-clean oven hot. That's libun gomer. You know that finished, done. Nothing is going to be, surviving that. Everything is going to be burnt off. There are three items in the kitchen that will not survive that level of libun. But probably, they definitely require libun, but they won't survive that. Those three items that heat up and cook food through direct heat without a liquid medium primarily is the air fryer, which is a little bit of liquid in it. It's not a lot of liquid. It's primarily a convection oven. That's what an air fryer is. It's a miniature convection oven. It has a heating element and it has a fan, so it's an oven. But there's no ways that it would survive a self-clean. Meaning if you were to put the air fryer, the components of the air fryer in your self-clean cycle in your oven, you can order yourself a new air fryer. Right? It's never going to survive. The other item is the toast oven. Toast oven, again, it cooks through direct heat, so it requires libun. If you were to put the components of your toast oven meaning half of it's plastic anyway, right? But if you put the components of your toast oven, or even toaster, I mean, I don't think anybody's trying to kasher a toaster for Pesach. That's what exactly are you going to toast for Pesach? That you would need the toaster, but toaster oven, right? That's the matzah pizza oven, right? Pasha. You need a matzah pizza oven. That's the toaster oven. There's no ways would survive 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 400, 500 degrees Celsius. There's no ways that it'll survive that. And the other is the warming drawer. There's no ways that you can kasher a warming drawer without incinerating the thing. So to that end, my opinion is that the warming drawer, whatever it does or doesn't do, it's a shaila if a warming drawer ever does anything. But in theory, it has a heating element and it's warming up food through direct heat. That I think you should close up for Pesach, most likely. The toaster oven, you should buy another one, and an air fryer, you should buy another one. Don't attempt to kasher them because, strictly speaking, they need libun and they're never going to survive libun. Now, if you're in a situation, we'll get to Shana in 1 second. If you are in a situation where, for whatever reason, there is no possibility of you acquiring another one, and there's shasad chak, there's constraining circumstances, whether it be circumstantial, financial, whatever the case is, and it's getting close to Pesach, and you need to make sure that this is taken care of, and all the rest of it. So I think that there is room to be makel. There is room to be makel because, one, there is a enormous school of thought amongst the Rishonim Achronim that libun could be done kabbalah kach polta, just at the highest temperature that it gets to. And when you add to that, if it's before Pesach, then heter bala, that what it was absorbing was not iser, it was heter before Pesach. So that would be possible. If you are in a pressing circumstance, I think the correct thing to do would be to clean it out. Meaning you have to take it apart, clean out all the nooks and crannies, wait 24 hours, and then put it on the highest temperature for the longest amount of time that it can go, which, whatever it is, an hour. I don't know how long an air fryer goes until the whole thing implodes. These things are not like amazingly robust pieces of machinery, as anybody that has ever attempted using one knows. I saw last week that they were selling them on wood for like $13. I would say like they're not amazingly strong pieces of machinery. But if you are in a shasad chak situation, is there a way, according to the poskim, to kasher? Yes. Is that ideal? No. That's certainly not ideal. If a person can get a toast oven for sure, air fryer for sure, and warming drawer for sure, those three things, I don't think that there is a good way of kashering them. Yeah, what do you say, Tadek?
You keep mentioning direct heat.
Yeah.
The warming drawer doesn't have direct heat.
It has an element. It has a heating
But
element.
the element is completely hidden. That's
Right,
the reason why you're allowed to use it as a warming drawer.
Right. So what we mean by direct heat is as opposed to through a liquid medium. Meaning the pasuk refers to cooking as bashal mevushal b'mayim. It was cooked in water. If something is cooked in water, so then it's cooked through a liquid medium, which on a physics level means that there is a maximum temperature that it can reach, practically speaking, right? Because once it gets hotter than that, it's evaporated. Once it hits boiling point, it can never get higher than like 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. Altitude, elevation, sea level, salt content might finagle it a couple of degrees here or there. But practically speaking, it's never going to get hotter than like 212. And therefore the way of getting rid of it is through boiling water. That is the maximum that you can remove that flavor. We pointed out that libun works differently. Libun is incinerating the actual chametz, the isur that is inside of it. It's gone, it's finished. But that's probably only true if it's at the highest temperature. If it's the highest temperature that item has reached, so then it might not destroy the chametz. It might just be kabbalah kach palta, which would mean that you could not kasher that even b'diavad on Pesach itself, because you're still relying on probably some level of bittul at some point in time. It's not going to extract all of the flavor to the extent that it's destroyed. It might extract it, but it might not destroy it. So it's a little bit iffy how to exactly define what that is, and this is distinct. We should point out from libun kal, which we'll talk about probably in the next couple of days. But pashtus is that those items you should not kasher. You should buy a new one for Pesach. And that is advisable in general. The other item, by the way, that I in recent years I advise buying a new one for Pesach and having this for Pesach is plata. Now you can kasher a plata, meaning if you have one of the metal platas, you can kasher it, you can cover it, you can clean it, no problem. What you see on all of the kashrus websites is that if you have the metal platter, that the metal Shabbos plug-in platter thing, that the correct thing to do would be to clean it well and then cover it with silver foil. I think that that's a terrible idea. And the reason that I think that it's a terrible idea is not because of kashrus, but because of safety. A few times in the past few years, I've seen stories and I've heard from people in our community that the way that those things are designed, if you wrap it with silver foil, you might end up conducting heat in ways that the thing is not designed to do. Wires have melted and fires have started. So my recommendation is not to cover the platter with silver foil. That's and if you can try to get yourself a kosher Pesach platter, that is much, much better. With regards to the glass platters, so for Sfardim, that's easy. For Sfardim, spray Windex and wipe it down, right? That's not a problem for Ashkenazim. But a machmer not to kasher glass, so that is a non-starter of a question in general. You should probably try to get a kosher Pesach platter. Yeah, Ronnie, what do you say? Okay, Lemaisa, that's the other item that I, not for kashrus purposes, but for safety purposes, I highly recommend that the platter should be a separate kosher Pesach platter because of fire hazards. Nobody should get themselves into danger in any direction.